Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we do have, that's just my cat, Stella. Come on, your job is to sit and purr. A cat's purr raises the vibration, and that's what she's supposed to be doing, not making noise. Be a good girl. All right, the underlying energy of the deck is the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups represents, cups in the tarot represent love. And this could be romantic love for sure, but it also can be love of anyone or anything. Plus, it could be love of something you love to do or be. This card is talking about a celebration. Having said that, these people are not celebrating each other. They're not even looking at each other. They might not even know each other. They're celebrating something that has happened here. And in many cultures, in particular in Europe, if you... sorry about the tail. She's got happy feet because she's getting ready to purr. So she has to circle a few times. Sorry about that. Be a good girl, Stella. Get on it. All right. So this is talking like many cultures in Europe in particular. If you toast with them and you don't look them in the eye, they get really upset because they have a suspicion that it causes 7 years bad luck in their love life. They take it quite seriously. And so here it is, the Eight of Cups. And so this is talking about walking away from a relationship. And so in this case, when you look at this, you can see like this is a relationship possibly that's been going for 8 years. And we have 5 cups like neatly lined up, and then we have 2, a space, and 1. And so sometimes this can represent a third party kind of energy coming in to divide the couple. And we have here 3 cups. And if in matters of romantic love, why are there 3 people here? That's the energy. So this to me is like a lot of gossip and slander, and possibly even one of these people could be the third party involved in this relationship, and that's someone's walking away from this relationship. All right, so and we have the new moon and the full moon, so that could definitely represent the 2 eclipses we just had. They have a profound effect on everything in our lives, but it's very subtle and it's gradual, like over about a 6-month period. If you would like to know more about the eclipse energy, you can go to my full moon, new moon playlist. And I did a reading for each of the horoscope signs regarding how much this affects people and all the energy that was coming in. The astrological effects are much less now than they were like at the beginning of the month. It was really intense. There was a lot of movement in the planets that we haven't seen in a lot of years, and this can cause energy to be a lot more volatile. So, but someone has decided to walk away from a relationship, something or someone they love for after, it looks like maybe 8 years. And we have this energy here of the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is saying, a lot of time, the pages represent communication coming in, because in the old days, the pages would be young people, generally around 7 to 14, depending on how mature they were, that would come from the surrounding families, the higher class families, educated people. And they would work for the king and the queen in the palace, and they would learn the ropes there. When they matured and they were 21, if they were still there and doing a good job, they might be considered for knighthood, and that would be if they could afford their own horse. But so each of them has their own element, and the element for the Page of Cups is the energy of romantic love. And so this page understands that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he has this one in the cup, and this is the one that he has his eye focused on. And so this could represent that you're very focused on someone in your love life, but this also can represent that there's something fishy going on in your love life, and that something stinks. And with this card and this card walking away, I feel that that's what you have found out. And so now you're walking away. Yeah, oh, look at that, heartbreak. So it's really interesting right now. I'm getting a lot of the readings that I thought I would be getting more at Valentine's Day. They're all about love. And I feel that has in big part to do on April 1st, we have the full moon, and that full moon is in Libra, and Libra is about energy when you're mature enough to be able to make a commitment and get married, and that kind of energy. And the focus of that full moon coming up on April 1st is the energy of wanting to really fix things that are off in your most intimate relationships. So this can represent in romantic love, it would be your lover, your spouse, and in business it could be a partner that you're dealing with or something like that. Having said this is definitely, we're talking romantic love here right now. So there's something fishy going on. You maybe just found out, and that's why you're done and you're walking away. And now this is a heartbreaking decision had to be made, or has to be made, basically. The swords represent the energy of your intellect, so your mental intelligence and your ability to discipline your mind, and also your thoughts. And so your thoughts are expressed through words, and those words here are represented as the spoken word. So this could represent that there was a lot of harsh words said, there could be like apology that's needed, or there could be forgiveness that's needed. This can also represent not being able to speak your truth, or feeling like you can't really, that you don't want to talk about it, or you're not able to. You can see this is painful because, there's 3 swords in the heart, but when you look at it again, you realize, oh, well, the heart is really big compared to the swords in context. So these would be, smaller. So there is that's saying that this is something that you can recover from. And so this is talking about having to make those decisions to what to do here. And then we have the King of Cups. Yeah, like, wow. So the King of Cups is wanting to offer a cup of love. So this could be like after this decision, after you walk away, then a new lover comes in, or someone that's interested in you has his eye on you. And once you heal your heart, then he's waiting, and he's patiently waiting there. He's sitting, he's very patient. He's sitting in the middle of all this chaotic water, which sometimes represents being in the eye of the storm. And the chaotic water in tarot represents volatile emotion. And so this energy is talking about he's waiting for the opportune time when the emotion calms down. He's got his right foot forward showing, and his right arm forward with this cup, showing that he's ready to step forward as soon as the opportunity arises, but he's waiting because he's emotionally intelligent, and he understands if he makes this offer too soon, it could be like a disaster. Oh, okay, and then this is talking about temptation. So I'm wondering, like, maybe if the King of Cups had something to do with you walking away from this relationship now. We'll keep going, or you might be the King of Cups offering this love, or you might be the person he's offering it to that walked away from someone else. It's hard to say yet. We don't have that information, but you would know if this is your reading. Take what works for you and leave the rest, because this is general collective reading. There's a lot of energy coming in. And also because like I've done 9 readings now for the full moon coming up on April 1st, and keeping in mind that on April 1st, it's April Fool's Day. So in the morning till noon, I think that's when people play tricks on each other. And that kind of energy right now, we really, like, I'm like, do we really need that on top of everything else? Because there's so much out there with AI right now, and there's just so much out there that human beings on the planet right now are dealing with. It's intense energy. And now we've got the devil coming in here. So these lovers are, this could be saying that it could have had something to do, like perhaps your partner was in a tryst with the King of Cups. You never know. And that's why they walked away, maybe to be with him, or it could be the energy of you walking away because you found out about this. There's so many scenarios, but in any case, this is gossip. They're not celebrating you, that's for sure. And so this is talking about these two lovers. They're yoked to each other and they're chained to Saturn's box. And the devil is ruled by the planet Saturn. And Saturn was one of the planets that just made a big move. It moved into Aries about 2 weeks ago. And this energy is about responsibility and, you know, having to do what needs to be done and, you know, not having any fun. And then, there's a shortcut, or the devil tempts you with something. The devil's not going to tempt you with something ugly. It's going to be something shiny, something that you really want, or something more fun than what you already have. And so, excuse me, the devil is haunched over this. It's like nobody's, like I can't barely talk here. Just hold on a second. I would get up and get a glass of water, but I've got a purring cat on my lap. And I don't really want to disturb her. A cat's purr is very healing, and I feel that we can use that energy right now. You might not be able to hear her because I have a noise-canceling mic, but she's purring, purring up a storm. This will go away. This is just because it's on this card. So this is talking about when this card comes up, I always put the next card up to cover it, because you're not going to get the truth out of this card. And so what's the next card coming up? Juggling. Okay. Okay, so this card is saying someone has been multitasking, which can be a really good skill to have, by the way. But you can multitask to the point where you're multitasking so much you have quality or quantity over quality, and then you have to do things twice. So then it's kind of like defeats the purpose. And this is saying that this can gain momentum. What's happening here, we got smaller waves going into bigger, and the ships are getting bigger. And this card also says juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And it's definitely someone juggled their morals here. And now this is saying it has to do with your lifestyle, like your pentacles. So pentacles represent lifestyle. They represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And so you could have all the money in the world, but if you aren't living the lifestyle that you want, then it's not going to be so great. So this is talking about someone's juggling pentacles, and that's it's had an effect on your lifestyle, basically on your happiness. And a tower hits. Of course, a tower hits here right after the devil comes in. And so this is the energy. This is a reality check. This is someone. And you look at the energy here. Someone has, there's two people falling out of this tower. One is shocked, and the other one is kind of like, I was wondering when this was going to happen. And you look at the anatomy of this tower exploding at the top, and then lightning hitting. You know, this is a reality check. And this is talking about the infidelity here. And it's saying there's now a reality check. They got caught somehow. And maybe they were being too loud. I don't know. But you found out, and whoever you are. And now, like, it's out in the open. So this is, the reality check is really hard. Like that, when the tower hits, it never feels good. It's not at a good time. It never is at an opportune time. The tower always hits at the worst time possible, it seems. having said that, the tower, just depending on which, if you're hanging out with God, the tower usually is something of a truth coming out that actually sets you free. Whereas from an energy that you weren't aware of, you were, you knew there was a problem, but you couldn't put your finger on it kind of energy. And for the people that were involved, like in the infidelity, etc., and the juggling of the coins, this energy is a reality check for them that hits them really hard. Boom. Here you go. This is your karma, basically. Yeah, and it looks like you've been saying to yourself, hey, it seems kind of weird. Like I'm disappointed in my love, and I'm also disappointed in my pentacles. And, I've worked so hard, and I only have this one pentacle. Where did all my money go? Whoever was hanging out with the devil here, they were involved in juggling their morals and your pentacles at the same time. So that's a big part of it. And then look at this, after this, I feel like this is saying, this is what happened. And the King of Cups is waiting because he's your soulmate coming in. So there is a new love coming in. And it comes out after the tower hits, because that's when you realize, I'm out of here. There we go. So this card had a double meaning, which quite often it will, especially when a reality check. This is saying, okay, so you're walking away because you found out about this. That the King of Cups has his eye on you, and he's waiting because he's probably heard there's a lot of gossip happening about this right now, and he's probably heard about it, and he's like, well, I'm going to snap this person up as soon as they're ready, because I've been having my eye on them for years. They're like, what an idiot kind of energy. And so then this is talking about, on the other side, there was something fishy in your love life, and then there's heartbreak. But now if your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind come together, now you know the truth, you're going to be in a position where you're plugged into your heart. You're going to have a lot of love come in and a lot of opportunities coming in, and you won't be dealing with someone that's juggling. You'll probably, whatever you lost here from this energy is going to be returned to you hundredfold, and you're going to meet your soulmate. What better, And look at the difference in the energy. This is what I'm talking about. You see here, this is how you toast someone. When you care about them, when you're friends or whatever, you look them in the eye and you say, hey, cheers. But here you say, oh, isn't that funny that happened to that person, We won. They're split up. I get to have them. And you're like, you can have them. Her, him, her. Remember all the characters in the tarot are archetypes. So the female can be actually a male in his feminine energy, as well as a female in her feminine. And the kings, for instance, could be women that are in their masculine energy. So just keeping that in mind. And then we have this energy of the Hermit coming in. So yeah, it's just talking about after this reality check comes that the Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain to isolate himself after having a dark night of the soul. So this is definitely a dark night of the soul moment. And he confers with God at the top of the mountain, and he isolates himself so that no one will bother him, because he wants to know. And when his lantern is full of the light of the North Star, which represents your destiny, then he comes down from the mountain with this golden rod, and it's shining and showing him the way. These are the actions that you need to take. And so then we have victory. Yeah, that's when this happens, when this starts changing. It's sitting right on the King of Cups here. So I'm building a pyramid, and so this is the bottom row, and this is what's going on and kind of the tools that you have to deal with it. And then this is talking about the obstacles and what are you going to have to use. And you have a lot of tools here. You have your soulmate coming in, which is someone that is really on the same vibe as you. And this is about your soul. Someone that the two souls agreed they would meet at some point in this life and empower each other to go on their destined journey. So look at that. So now this is talking about getting together And then there's victory. So this is like, these wands represent the element of fire, and they're talking about there's, you know, you fought a hard battle, but you came out the leader. And you had victory. And the reason you did is you reined your emotions in. You didn't let things get out of hand and, you know, flip out and use harsh words and, you know, that kind of energy. And so even the people that were maybe talking about you and laughing about your situation behind your back are now going, wow, well, I have to admit, you know, and look how proud you are. You can stand tall. You're not the one that juggled your morals. And now you've attracted, look at, and now this is the official marriage card. It kind of reminds me of, is it Snow White or Cinderella? Like, who's the fairest in the land? That kind of energy. It's kind of like I'm getting the King of Cups is quite the catch, basically, because it's talking, you know, this fish in this cup. And so this is talking about the you know, marriage. This is the beginning of fulfillment. Basically what this is saying is you have the money for the down payment for your castle saved up, and you found the perfect castle, and now you just have to keep paying the mortgage payments. You found, like, someone proposed and the answer was yes, and now you're working on the wedding, and then you have to put some energy into the marriage so that it you know, continues to be a fulfilling experience. And we have the rebel with a cause energy. So this is actually Sagittarius energy. It's like the centaur, and it's very, very similar to on February 17th, we moved into the year of the fiery horse in the Chinese zodiac. It was New Year's Day on the 17th, and we're in this energy until February 6th and of 2027. So the fire horse energy is talking about being, it's a free-spirited energy, really good for setting achievements, like having, like really enjoying making, going on adventures and really achieving a lot, because like you're in this, you know, a love for the mysteries and figuring them out. That's what the pyramids here represent. And this is talking about someone that's matured. He's got a big red plume on the back of his helmet here, which represents he could have a hot temper. This is a fire sign, so the element is passion and fire. So in matters of love, he's very passionate and you know, very heartfelt. That's what the horse represents. But he has learned to rein in his emotion and learned to rein in his mind and discipline it, so that he's not reacting, he's responding to what's going on around him. And this is very similar. This is exactly the energy of the fire horse energy. You want to be in this energy where you take advantage of it, but you rein it in, because you're already, this is already a fire sign. So you don't need that. This one doesn't need more fire. Some people might need a little more fire, but be, you know, be careful that what it's saying is, in this energy, you don't want to be impulsive. You don't want to be like flying off at the handle at people or getting in fights that you don't need to, and you don't want to burn yourself out by doing too much too fast, and then, you know, like being so busy that you don't even, you don't enjoy the time that you're there, and you burn yourself out, and then you don't make it to the finish line. And so we have this energy here now. Perhaps you and this king are going to move somewhere, because it looks like this card sometimes can represent someone who's standing on the turret of their castle, and it must be the King of Cups here. And because this castle is being rebuilt, if your ex-partner can afford it. This is talking about he's standing on the turret of his castle, and he's overlooking his domain. And this is like the energy of a big fish in a little pond sort of energy. So he's got the globe in his hand, and that represents that he's been very successful, and he knows that he you know, like he knows how to be successful, but he is wanting to expand. And so of course, if you get married, you're going to expand, and so perhaps you're looking for a bigger house. This can sometimes represent moving, and sometimes I feel like this card is like an entrepreneur that is wanting to franchise their business. So they've been successful at one location, but they know, like, to really build up more pentacles in their wealth, they're going to need to maybe, have more customers. So maybe moving to a bigger center or even another country or something like that. Expanding your business, expanding your horizons. And of course, if you get married to someone, you're expanding, maybe planning to have a family. And so this energy of the sword energy here, this energy, it's saying it's healed. And so there's 8 swords here, and there's 7 swords behind this person. And I feel this represents the heartbreak energy. And so then the decisions being made. And I feel like there was a lot more water here at one point, but now it's drying up. So water in the tarot, as I said, represents volatile emotion. And I feel like there was more water here, but now it's dried up. And so you're ready to take that step forward and say yes to the proposal. And this is the one action that you have left, and you want to take it. You no longer feel duty bound to the old energy because of what you found out about what was going on behind your back with the devil. And you can now take the blindfold off and move forward with this one action, which is moving with this new energy of love in your life. So this is good. Yeah, and look at that. We have the shift disturber here, right on top of here. So this is a walking contradiction. He's got 2 swords planted. So this shift disturber energy, I feel, is whoever was your partner from the past. And like that's kind of representing you and him. And he's looking back at the past, and he's sneaking away with these other 5 swords. And so what does that mean? It could be intellectual property. It could be paperwork. I don't know. Like it's something. But this energy, he's looking over his shoulder. He's in broad daylight. So if he's a thief stealing these, he's not a thief in the night. He would be someone in broad daylight. Like, look at him. Like it's like he sticks out. Like he's got these red boots and this red hat on, and he's sneaking around, and it's broad daylight. And so this talks about someone who's maybe doing more like white collar crime, that kind of energy. And he's walking forward, but he's looking backwards. So he's not even looking where he's going. And look how he's carrying those swords. Like, who carries swords like that? They're very sharp. If he trips, he could lose his hands. It's very dangerous. So if he's that dangerous with his own energy, what is he like with everybody else's? And I feel like this is kind of interesting too, because you look here, we have 5 cups lined up, and then 2 more, and that's 7, and then there's a gap. This card can also represent the 7-year itch. So the 7-year itch is like a statistic. When people get married, for whatever reason, after the 7th year, they all of a sudden decide, like, I don't want to be married anymore. And it's when the most divorces happen, because someone, excuse me, there's some clearing for the 2 swords. So this is someone that after about 7 years of marriage, they decide, you know what, I don't want to be in this anymore. I want a divorce. And it's kind of like it shows that gap here. So you see that? And then this energy is also talking about, sometimes this can represent, like it's statistically, this is happens. And so if people don't get divorced in the 1st year of marriage, then they're likely to do it in the 7th. And then after that in the 18th. But you can check that out if you want. And this energy is also talking, sometimes this happens in matters of real estate, like where if you have a house and you're happy in it, and then all of a sudden after 7 years you move, and you tend to do that every 7 years. Can also talk about partnerships in business, same thing. So that's the energy of the heartbreak, I feel. And it could have been both of them. Like this could have been your spouse and your business partner, so it's affected you double. But now you're in the star energy. And the star energy is talking about you're on your destined path. And this represents the North Star energy, that you're on your destined path and you're on your way doing that. So there's been a big shift in the right direction for you. And this is about you adding your own special qualities to the universal pool, and then pouring that out onto land and creating that on the earth. And then we have this energy of the moon. So the moon, the energy of the, as I said, astrological influence has been very intense for a lot of people. There was a lot happening, but it's calming down a little bit now. But I'm not surprised to see this energy in, because the Libra moon is talking about the needs of it's talking about finding out something that's wrong in your relationship, or something that you could work on to make your relationship better with your significant other. And this energy, in the horoscope, the wheel, Libra is directly across from Libra is Aries, and Aries is where all these big planets were moving into the sign of Aries. A lot of intense energy there. And so Libra and Aries are kind of having a discussion as a couple. And Libra's willing more to compromise, but Aries is saying, you know what? I want to express myself, and I want to do what's best for me. And I want, they're more interested in self-assertion than compromise. And so this is kind of the energy. And so this has been playing out in a lot of the readings that I've done for the full moon. And remembering again that on top of it, if that's not enough, it's also April Fool's Day. So, you know, this is talking about confusion. Like the moon, quite often there's hidden secrets come out. And it's about being able to be brave enough. Like this lobster is climbing out of this emotional water, and it's like, man, I got to get through these two pillars and on my path. But I got to pass by this domestic dog and this wolf, and they're both howling at the moon. So it's kind of like, man, I've got to take my chances here, because I got to get going. And so this can represent you maybe have been too much on the domestic side and a little bit boring, or you have been a wild child and it's time to calm her down a little. And so this is talking also about the eclipses that we had. I feel like the eclipse energy probably did have a strong effect on you with those moons. It was really intense energy. And, you know, on top of that, with the fire horse energy coming in, we were in the year of the snake. So it was kind of like when we moved from the year of the snake, what do snakes do? They shed their skin. So, you know, once they shed their skin, if they're a snake, though, they're always still a snake. And then this is, conception. So this is talking about now things are moving forward. There's a project that you've been working on, and now it's legitimately going to go. And I feel like it's this new one here. So it's already happening on the spiritual realm, and it's moving into the third dimensional. And then this is, you're totally on a new cycle here. So that's what it's saying. And wouldn't that be funny if it's on April Fool's Day? If it is, remember in the morning till noon is when people play tricks on each other. Isn't that weird, hey? And look at, there's the lover there. Okay, so yeah, this is when you start your new journey with the King of Cups, I feel like. And look at the difference in these two. Now, which couple would you rather be? There's a bit of a cloud in between these two people, because it can represent that you don't know each other, or if you do, you've never dated before. So, and the sun is shining down on this relationship and saying, get to know each other. You're really going to like each other. It's probably different from your normal type. And this is your normal type, and you've got a cloud over here like that you have to get through to get to know each other better, which could be a lot of fun. And this is what they have, the devil sitting right in between them, haunched there. And so this is talking about their relationship is more based on lust, and yours is based on companionship and love. So, yeah. So if if you're wondering if there's ever justice, I'd say this is justice right here. You know that this is happening for you. Yeah, and then look at this. You have like the Ten of Pentacles. And so the Ten of Pentacles is the ultimate amount that you can have in the tarot. So this is talking about a very fulfilling lifestyle. This is talking about it's raining money. You have the new castle, and hey, you're going to have a family, and there's 2.5 kids here. I'm just joking, but on average. And 2 pets, and you even have time to stop and chat with the neighbors. So it's like a really beautiful setting for you, and a really beautiful lifestyle. And it's God's gift to you for staying on your destined path. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes. So this is talking, the reason this is coming in for you is because you've learned the art of discernment, and you've learned to love yourself. Like a lot of times we don't realize, like, if, you know, sometimes we're empowering other people and we don't realize that we're selling ourselves short. And if we do that too much, then we don't have enough to sustain ourselves. We're not going to be able to sustain others. And so this is pre-Empress energy. It's talking about having learned a lot, like a lot, and being a powerful manifester. And it's also talking about how that energy, remember I said of Virgo, when we had that Virgo new moon, that energy, that was back on February 17th, was it? No, sorry, it was on March 18th, sorry, we just had that. So that was the Pisces moon. But the Virgo, the Virgo new moon was back in February on the 17th. And that was about, it was the full moon on March 3rd. I see there's so much energy here with astrological back then. So it was the March 3rd full moon, so it was a month ago. It was about getting your ducks in alignment with your environment at home so that it supports your environment at work, and that then the pentacles will come in. And I feel like that's the energy that's being represented here. Virgo energy is very orderly, and cleanliness is next to godliness, and you know, you're the sum of your environment. This card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla. You know, if you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And so she's learned the give and take, like how much of herself to give away, to invest in others, and to invest in projects, and how much to keep for herself. And so she keeps these 6 coins to make sure she always has that for herself. And then she has this to play with. So, you know, she might want to make an investment in something more risky with one of them, and then with the other, maybe, you know, give to charity. And this one maybe is for saving up for a vacation for the family, that kind of energy. Then we have, yes, you have a strong foundation for making money now because of it. And having this energy cleared up out of your life, and you heal from it, you're going to find that you can move into your authentic desires. And this is actually representing your authentic desires. So I feel like now you have your authentic desires, but now you're going to move into your crowning glory. And your crowning glory is when you really have this generational wealth coming in here. It's because it's coming in because you're now on your divine path with your divine soulmate. And, you know, like you're empowering each other to stay on God's path. And so God's blessing you with everything you need to go on that journey together. It's a major transition. And I feel like this is, like the Grim Reaper represents, a lot of people get afraid of this card, but it's about transition. And so it's talking about like major changes are happening on the planet, and they're also happening for you now. And this is representing the light at the end of the tunnel. So when, you know, the times are really hard and you are in the dark night of the soul, going to God and going for the light is the best thing you could have done. Some people, like this older person, doesn't want the Grim Reaper coming in with his change, but these young kids are handing him a flower. This little one's saying, here's a bloom. And this is talking about the rebirth in life. We're seeing a lot of that on the planet right now, where there's a lot of major change happening in systems that you never thought would break down. And we're watching them like, holy, like talk about the rug being pulled out from under your feet, you know. And then we have this energy of the Queen of Swords. So this is talking about this pre-Empress energy, like, you know, a lot of this is really challenging to go through, but when you go through it, then you learn. This is saying, without all of this happening, you wouldn't have raised your vibration to this point to attract your soulmate. So this is saying that, you know, you have the discernment of the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords has been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, has the souvenir, and has zero interest in putting up with bullshit in her life. And in particular, not the same old bullshit. And so she has her head above the clouds and has clarity. She's willing to receive, but you better come into her direct and straight, or she'll be like, you know, off with your head. And then this is talking about a breath of fresh air. So like all of this energy being cleared, this page is coming in, and this represents someone, he already knows the thought, so he's looking away from it now because he wants to think outside the box, and he's looking in a new direction, like, okay, what's the creative solution to problems? And so when you're more in this energy where you've healed from this energy and you have some calm in your life, in your environment, it supports this energy where you start finding a lot of creative solutions, and you become more and more in this Empress energy. And reconciliation. So this, I feel that this, sometimes this can be a card of reconciliation with someone from your past. So that could be, but it would be someone, this lover, this new lover, is someone that you hadn't had a relationship with, that you like, that you had a relationship. I would say that it could be someone from your past that was maybe even from high school or even elementary school or from your hometown kind of energy, and you bump into each other, and that's how you end up together now. It's a synchronicity that some people will refer to as coincidence. And this card is saying that there may have been some forgiveness, like you had to be able to really dig deep within yourself to be able to forgive and heal your heart again, so that you would be able to be in a position where you could attract that kind of love to you. And then we have the energy of the Page of Wands at the top here. And the Page of Wands is talking about having that new passion for life again. Like the Page of Wands is, he's the Knight of Wands when he was younger. And so he's still, this is like, what I feel like this is saying is now the King of Cups and you both have this energy of woohoo. Everything's like, it's like feeling that passion that you have when you're younger, no matter what age you are. Feeling passionate about your love life, feeling passionate about your careers, passionate about where you're headed, maybe purchasing this new home. It might even be in a new country because you're both in the mood for adventure, but you're doing it together, so it's going to be more fun. And then this is talking, so from the bottom to the top and back down, we're talking about leaving a prior relationship and really feeling kind of itchy feet, after everything that's happened, and like wanting to expand. And this is, I feel like, because this is talking about wanting to expand and be with someone and have the companionship and maybe even move. This is talking about like all the work that it took, like all the emotions that were spent because of this energy here, raising you to the level of the pre-Empress energy, which allows you to go after your heart's desires and your crowning glory, possibly with someone that you already know but you haven't seen in a long time, having this new passionate beginning and really feeling like young and lighthearted and having fun. And like a breath of fresh air, basically. And it's because you learned how to discern the give and take in life, basically, and not put up with any more bullshit. Like you're just not willing to put up with this. So this new journey, this new cycle is with a new lover. And conception might even take place now. So we're talking maybe you're both wanting to have children. This is with their soulmate. And the lost money has clearly been found here. And you notice here, the Six of Pentacles here. There's this one pentacle here has now turned into these three that you were able to invest, and it's added up to the 10, which is the ultimate. There's no stopping you now. That's a really good energy. All right, it's a happy ending to a story. It's kind of nice to see after kind of a troubling start. All right, so we're going to clarify this for those of you that want clarification. If you're leaving the reading now, thank you for your time and energy. Please do give it a like and comment if you've benefited from it. It really does empower me to build my channel. And I'm going to clarify now with my Tales from the Vector, my oracle. And so I started this in 2007 and I completed it in 2020. And I'm now working on bringing it out. There's 64 paintings. And I have a lot of information written. It's on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And I have a gallery with all the paintings in there. And so the numbers on these cards represent those paintings in the order they are there. I will put it in the description box below in the order that they show up here, and you can go check it out if you want. We have the transition card talking about this energy is now over. These people laughed too soon. You know, you don't even care. You're off on your own journey now anyway. And then we have temperance. You were very patient and stayed on your journey, but you walked away from this energy because you felt like, hey, there's something really fishy going on here. And maybe you were in denial for some time, like what I don't know won't hurt you. But, you know, our intuition quite often will be yelling at us, there's something wrong here. But love is blind, and so lots of times we just don't want to see it. And we can get into denial and then think, oh, well, if I don't see it, then I don't have to believe it kind of energy. We have Virgo energy coming in. So this is talking about that Mercury is ruling Virgo. Talking about that energy I was talking about it was the full moon on March 3rd. And that was about getting your environment cleaned up. If your environment is decluttered, it declutters your mind, and it also improves your ability to manifest. And so talking about that energy coming in, and then the guiding stars. So this is talking about using your intuition as well as your logic. And then you wouldn't probably give in to this energy here with the devil and juggle your morals. It's never worth it in the end. We have the need to be right. So the need to be right is when people know what they're doing is wrong, but they somehow convince themselves, I'm right. I'm always right. That kind of energy. And then God sends in, the sun is representing, God sends in your soulmate. When you have the courage to leave this person, your soulmate comes in. And there's a tower on the tower here. So it's saying yes, and divorce. So it's talking about you walking away from the relationship. And then after you do that and you make that choice and that decision and you get those proceedings going, then you meet your new lover coming in, which is sent by God this time. And jealousy. Maybe a lot of people are jealous of you now because the king is highly desirable. Is what I'm getting. And so you're like, hey, let them be jealous. I'd rather be better than bitter. And the hangman is talking about having that balance in your life, being able to balance your masculine and your feminine, knowing, balancing your home life to your business life so that you can be more productive, and just really having that balance within yourself where you know what you're willing to put up with and what you're not. That kind of energy. Sagittarius energy coming in, and that's right here on this fire horse energy. So as I said, I explained that the world travel, the adventure, expansion, that's the fire horse energy. And then we have the foolish journey here. So when people have expectations, it always creates limitations. And that's sitting here on the walking contradiction here. So it was foolish to think that they could get away with this forever. Eventually, the truth always comes out. And then maybe that was, I'm glad it wasn't on this one because this is representing the new journey. So this is talking about having the courage to face your fears and go after your authentic desires with a new lover. So the lover's on the lover. Falling and failing in love is a matter of eye. So your heart chakra opened. You did the work so that you could heal your heart. Otherwise, you wouldn't have attracted this soulmate energy coming in. I really like to see this, especially that it's on here. And the foolish, because remember, that's April Fool's Day in the morning. And then we have the moon energy coming in. So that's talking, this one is saying, it's talking about the moon that was on the 18th of March, which was in Pisces. And I feel like that's the intuition was really strong there, and whatever was going on then, I feel like it was kind of pushing you in this direction to use your intuition. And then we have the magician. So this is a huge energetic upgrade for you, awesome energy. And then it's talking about this. Of course, with this card here, it's perfect because the Page of Wands really admires his wand. And this is about the sacral chakra, manifesting from that. I feel that if you're looking, you know, to start a family, this conception could be taking place pretty quick here. It's awesome energy. All right. I like this reading. It was lighthearted, and I mean, it had a rough start and then a good finish. I hope you also enjoyed it. Please do give it a like and a comment if you have. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'd be honored. And I will be back with another daily reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now. Hey, little kitty, we gotta wake up. Yeah, we gotta wake up.